Wi-Fi's holding up.
Where next? Let me go to John. Yes.
Oh, here comes the refs. Yeah, about 13 minutes to kick off.
Very nice. Alright, let's go. Very nice.
Hey, can you run down and ask Maddie who the head ref is with white hat, what his name is? Or who's down there?
Just wait till you see him at work, Mr. Hyder.
Oh. I think it's going to be phenomenal.
Alright, this will be better than the last stream, hopefully.
Do you want to go ask the ref right there?
Up on the site.
Yeah, the one with the white hat. I need to know his name.
Gonna ask him his name?
I was gonna ask Maddie.
Yep, everything's up on the site. Don't forget to update the scoreboard.
Yep.
Okay.
That's what kills me. He talks to the far side. Wait, what? Where is that?
Who is that?
I don't know.
Is that...
Playing a random stream. Okay, that's weird. Let me check this out now. Test it. Is the audio all on, or is everything muted?
Audio's on. Both mics are on.
Let me check this out now. Test it. Is the audio all on, or is everything muted?
Audio's on. Both mics are on.
Okay. Can you put on the headset and test it?
Just start talking.
Okay. Can you hear me? Testing, testing, testing. Is it working?
Okay. Yeah, they're working.
Okay.
Can you test the other one?
Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3.
Testing. Is it working? Okay. Yeah, they're working. Okay. Can you test the other one? Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Why is it like replaying everything?
That one doesn't sound as good.
Because there's delay lag.
Oh yeah.
So it's coming back through
The phone.
Yeah, so he hears it through the...
Oh yeah.
Back through the phone.
Okay.
It is working though. His sounds really good.
Okay. But the
Did
other...
you have it like fully on? Like?
No, he was just kind of talking into it.
No, yeah, the whole thing.
I can put his on and test it.
That's why it wasn't as good.
Yeah, it should be fine.
Like, is this better?
I don't have it up right now, so I can't hear.
Oh,
Okay.
alright, that's fine.
Yeah.
As long as it works, it'll probably...
Alright. Yeah, it looks good. Everything should be all working now. So if Tarek wants to tell Miss Fonts to like send it on the Facebook or whatever,
Okay.
she can now.
Alright, 10 minutes till kick off. He's probably gonna start pretty soon.
Actually, let me see if she already has. Oh yeah, everything should be all good.
Alright, she already put it up?
No, she didn't.
Alright, so Peric's gonna have to...
Just tell Patrick that when he comes back.
Alright.
Alright, if there's a problem, just call me.
Alright.
Alright, man.
Alright. Everything should be good. You need to tell Miss Fonts to put up the thing on Facebook.
She called back.
But other than that, mics are working. You know how to do the intermission thing. And then when you're done with intermission, just put it back on live game.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. Get some water. Halftime before we stop. Alright. You are the best, Mr. Hyder. Just want to make sure that you're loud, clear, confident, don't mumble. Those are the keys. Number 5 is Connor Murphy. Connor Murphy. Keep on forgetting his name. Connor Murphy. Connor Murphy. What is he, a wide receiver? He's number 5. Number 1 is Harrison Reed.
He's also a wideout.
And which one's our starter? Quarterback?
It would be number 7.
The one throwing
Where is
it.
he? I think he's one on the left. Justice McDougal. Justice McDougal. Also plays corner. Had an interception against Pingree last week. So we're going to open up recapping Portsmouth Abbey's game against the Huskies and then against St. Luke's, just quickly. But I want to reference them periodically throughout the broadcast, all right? And then we can, and then if we have time, we can talk about Wilbraham and Monson's game against Pingree, but that's not really a priority with the window that we're going to have.
Here, do you usually speak pretty loudly?
Don't change the volume.
All right.
Volume was fine for me last week.
All right.
So if I ever stop talking, like if I say, well, Portsmouth Abbey in the last 2 weeks have lost 2 important games, the first of which coming to the New Hampton Huskies, then hit me with like a breakdown of that game.
All right.
And then so like that should be like a key.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So while you're saying it, I'll have time to.
Yeah.
All right.
And and I'll just look at you just.
Yeah. Son of a fool on a person. Oh.
All right, Hyder. Here, let's get ready. All right. Has Beef got this on?
I think we put it up.
All right. 5 minutes will kick off. Ready?
Yeah.
By the way, to mute your microphone, hit that.
Okay. And then the volume, just keep it the same. All right.
Hey, can you turn on the YouTube? Make sure this is actually working. So go to YouTube to do what? Look up Portsmouth Abbey. Look up this game on the Beacon Online or on my YouTube, JPRX777. Make sure it's okay, right? YouTube doesn't work. We'll look up John Kerr. Test.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
And good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Portsmouth, Rhode Island, as we are getting set to give you Ravens football here as Portsmouth Abbey gets ready to take on the Wilbraham and Monson Titans. It's the Ravens and it's the Titans kickoff scheduled for 2 o'clock p.m. here on Parents Weekend. And I bring in my co-host, Dom Ambrose. Dom, how are you today?
I'm doing great, John. How are you?
Doing well, thank you. Well, the Ravens, they've had 2 tough weeks, first coming against New Hampton and then St. Luke's. Tell me a little bit about New Hampton first off.
Well, with New Hampton, tough loss. It was pretty close through the first half. Shane Hoey had a nice pass to Crowley. And they battled hard, but Northampton ended up pulling away in the end. But a good battle, I would say, and plenty of positives in the first half.
Well, yeah, we've seen a lot of positives this season for the Ravens, but except for their victory against Hilton, they haven't really been able to put everything together. And we saw against New Hampton, Josh Plum have 149 rushing yards on 27 carries, and it is, I think, crucial to note that Victor Otero, one of Portsmouth Abbey's lethal threats on offense, was inactive with this illness for that game. But then against St. Luke's last week, really just nothing on offense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the one positive to take away from the St. Luke's game is for sure their defensive effort. They held St. Luke's to a touchdown, a field goal throughout the whole game. Evan Ventura had a nice fumble recovery that helped a lot on defense.
Right, exactly. And Portsmouth Abbey shut out, though.
Yeah.
That's the one thing. Victor Otero, he was active. He was suited up, ready to play, but somehow that St. Luke's defense made him irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what Wilbraham and Monson's defense will be able to do today, as periodically throughout the season, they have struggled up front with tackles and open space and really limiting opposing offenses. Well, tonight, the Wilbraham and Monson Titans will try to limit this Portsmouth Abbey offense, whether it's going to be stopping Josh Plum in the backfield, whether it's going to be stopping Victor Otero in the backfield, or Will Crowley in the passing game. Should be interesting to see, because in their most recent game against Pingree, that defense for the Titans really just got smoked.
Mm-hmm. And the great thing to note today is that there aren't many inactives on the Abbey roster. Our only inactives are Noah Crines, fullback, and Luke O'Reilly has an ankle injury. So they have all their weapons right now, and so to exploit the Titans defense would be important today. Just to focus on limiting turnovers. They definitely don't want to. Those are just
players to watch. Number 7, their quarterback, Justice McDougall. He's really had arguably his best season as a junior this year, over 1,000 passing yards already. And against Pingree, even in a losing effort, he had 204 passing yards, 3 touchdown passes, and an interception on the defensive side of the ball. So he's going to be a factor. And also on the other side, Ryu, that man, he's something.
He's tough.
Ajan Rue, wide receiver for the Titans, 5 catches, 102 yards last week against Pingree with 2 touchdowns, including a 70-yard touchdown. But a few weeks ago against Cushing, he really was the difference.
Insane.
5 touchdowns in the first half of that Cushing game. What did you see out of him?
He's just a beast. There's not many ways to put it. You really got to focus on him defensively. Run after the catch is huge for him. He knows how to find holes after the catch. He knows how to get open. So that's obviously a threat that the Abbey defense will be focusing on today.
Yeah, it certainly will be. Now, one thing that should be interesting is right now you see the captains going out to midfield for the coin toss, but one thing that should be interesting is just this matchup in general. Portsmouth Abbey, they've been dominant on defense as they were last week. When Wilbraham and Monson, really, they're a passing offense. They're a stretch offense. So who's your X factor for the Titans and for the Ravens?
Well, I think for the Ravens, I think Josh Plum is my personal X factor. He's a bell cow type back. He gets a lot of carries, and I think that with the Titans' weaknesses, tackling up front, I think he'll be able to have a good game. And then offensively for the Titans, Ajan Rue he's a beast. It's hard to contain a guy like that, and whatever the Ravens' defensive scheme is for him, I feel like he'll still be able to find a way. So that'll be important.
No, that certainly will be. Well, for me, for the tight ends, I look at two. Caden Brodnick's running back for the Ajan Rue, how dominant he can be as a wide receiver. But Connor Murphy's almost been overshadowed as he also is a dominant wide receiver. Last week, 4 receptions, 71 yards, including a 35-yard touchdown against a good Pingree secondary. So it will be interesting to see whether or not the Ravens defense is going to double cover Ryu and give Murphy one-on-one coverage. That should be a big part of today's game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's definitely, the Titans can definitely spread it out on offense. They can use the run game. They can open up the passing game. So hopefully, the Ravens stay balanced on defense and make sure they don't let any of these other weapons exploit them.
Well, right now down on the field, the coin toss is over. Both teams getting ready for opening kickoff, as Portsmouth Abbey is wearing their home blacks today, while the Wilbraham and Monson Titans are wearing their white row jerseys with their red pants. And now, as we are getting set for kickoff, what's kind of your expectation going into this game?
Well, I feel it's a well-balanced game. We've seen Titans struggle on defense, and we've seen the Ravens struggle on offense. So there's a balance here, which I think will be entertaining to watch. But I'm really looking for big plays all around. I think there's potential in that game. And really, it's just gonna be entertaining.
Well, the Ravens won the toss, and they elected to defer. So now the Titans are getting ready for the opening kickoff. Aiden Held to boot it away. And here we go, folks. Little squib onside kick, and the Ravens will recover it. Kind of an unexpected.
Interesting move.
Exactly. Very interesting way to begin this game on an onside kick.
Recovered by Nate Braden.
And Nate Braden, he's been a factor on that defensive front, really limiting opposing running offenses. But right now, opening drive. This really, I think, will tell whether or not we're going to be seeing an offensive back and forth like we saw with the Titans and Pingree last week, or whether or not it's going to be one through the trenches. Mm-hmm. Shane Hoey coming out for the Ravens. Opening play is going to be nullified with a false start on Portsmouth Abbey, and that will set the Ravens back.
You really just can't have those types of penalties this early in the game. First play of the game, you need to stay focused. You can't get distracted that easy.
It looked like they were trying a toss to the left to Otero, but when your offensive line isn't all on the same page, that won't work out. Well, here we go. First down and 15 to go. Portsmouth Abbey coming out of that same formation. Hoey under center. So we a toss to the right.
Josh
to
Plum.
Plum cutting up looking for a lane, and
run.
He's going to push his way back. That's a gain of about 6 yards on the play.
Physical run, getting that yardage back.
So Portsmouth Abbey being able to get something on that first play, even after the false start penalty, that has to be a bright side.
That's great. That's how you want to set the tone coming out. Establish the run game, and then that'll be open. You can open it up for Hoey eventually in the passing.
Well, again, we said it in the pregame. Portsmouth Abbey, they're looking to kind of pick apart this Titans defense that has just not been able to make open field tackles.
And you saw by the running by Plum there, just manhandling these tacklers.
Hand off to Plum up the middle, and Plum's got room to run. Yeah. He's got blockers, and he's going to be brought down around the 40-yard line. Big run by Josh Plum for the first down.
Very physical. And, I mean, playing through with Plum through preseason, that's a hard guy to tackle. Stays low, runs hard, and he just loves football.
So the chains will move here on first down. And going back to Plum's first carry on that toss, it was interesting to see him get the toss. Really, those outside runs have gone to Victor Otero so far this season. But with him out of the offense 2 weeks ago against New Hampton, it was interesting to see Plum in the game. And a handoff to Stephen Crabtree, the fullback, and Portsmouth Abbey will push him for a gain of about 5 yards on the play.
Yeah, no, that's a great change of pace because you have the outside runs, and then you just pound it inside. That's solid yardage. That'll bring up second about 5.
Well, besides that false start penalty, Portsmouth Abbey has been able to move the ball all on the ground. Should be interesting to see whether or not they're going to go to the pass game here on second down.
It'll be interesting.
Well, second and
Same
5.
formation.
Hoey going to hand it to
Yeah, that's
Otero,
Otero.
running to the
Bounces
left.
outside.
Otero looking
Tries
for
to
a
get back.
blocker, and he's out of bounds. Ball came a little bit loose there at the end of the play, but that will bring us to third down.
There was a lot of white jerseys around him right there. That's an unblocked play.
Right, he's looking for blockers, and no one there. Not exactly the best formula for success, just in football in general. Well, here we go. Third down and 5. Portsmouth Abbey trying to convert here and extend this opening drive. The Ravens have come out of the same formation with 3
Crowley out right.
running backs in the backfield. Hoey under center. Going to hand it to Plum. Plum is going to be tripped up just short of the first down marker, and that's going to be fourth down in about 2 yards, close to 3.
And there's a penalty. It'll be interesting to see if they go for it. Looks like they are.
And Hoey is trotting out into the huddle. Portsmouth Abbey not showing any sign of a punt team here on this opening drive. 4th and 3. And this is something that we've seen out of them consistently throughout the year. If it's 4th and short yardage, they're not afraid to go for it. And Hoey calling his signals at the line of scrimmage. Otero the motion back. He takes the toss, and he's looking for a room, and he is going to be short, and it's going to be a turnover on downs. The Titans defense stopping Victor Otero.
And that's a great tackle by number 21, Caden Bronax. Like you said, X factor. They needed someone on defense like that to step up and really make those tackles and plays like that. So, unfortunately, didn't get the first down, but great football play.
Well, Portsmouth Abbey trying that toss, which we saw a lot against Tilton 2 weeks ago, and here trying to run it again. But unfortunately, it ran for a loss of yardage. And now, with that, the Titans offense will come out, and Justin McDougall out of the shotgun here. McDougall back to pass, setting up a screen, and cutting upfield is Rue, and Rue in space. He's brought down around the 45, still not down.
Wow.
Well, we said in the pregame, Rue, he is a elusive wide receiver, and he showed us right there.
Yeah, you got a taste. That's just, you got to just have, I think the Ravens, I mean, he broke out quick, but they got to swarm him like that. Gang tackling is important for a player like that.
Jean Rue on
that's
the
a big gain on first down.
It is, and Jean Rue on the big reception, and that now kind of just completely flips the script here. Portsmouth Abbey, they were driving, pounding the rock, but now they're watching the Titans do just that to their defense. And looks like we may have had a busted play there as McDougall took the snap. He wanted to hand it off, and he had to keep it himself, and Portsmouth Abbey's defense got to him for a loss of 3.
That's just a pure swarm. That's good heads-up play. Probably confusion, but the Ravens realized it quick, got on the ball.
Yeah, it looked like he was looking for Caden Broadnex, but either he turned to the wrong shoulder or Broadnex ran the wrong way. No running back there, and that's kind of a quarterback's nightmare.
Exactly, yeah. In that type of situation, there's nothing really you can do. You just got to turn and run and hope that there's some blocking somewhere. Second about 12.
Well, McDougall out of the shotgun again with Broadnex in the backfield. He's back to pass. He's looking for Broadnex, who makes a one-handed catch, but the Ravens are there, and that's going to be another loss. Portsmouth Abbey defense finding a way to stop Caden Broadnex.
And that looked like a team of Chris Sizer and Stephen Crabtree just flowing to the ball, and they read that play perfectly.
Well, the first down marker is at about the 34-yard line. With the ball at midfield, you're looking at about a third down and 16. As the Titans, we've already seen it. They can make big plays. That's no fear for them.
Yeah, no, I mean, you always have to look out for the big plays, just like we saw in their first play of the game. So you're going to look at Rue here. They're definitely going to try to target him.
Well, Rue split out wide with
4 receivers.
Held at the far sideline. And McDougal out of the shotgun. McDougal back to pass, going deep and long for Murphy, overthrown, and it's incomplete. Connor Murphy, the intended target on the play, and that brings us to 4th down.
Great pressure by the Ravens defensive line right there. He just had to make a quick decision, didn't really have time to set himself.
Well, McDougal is jogging off the field, and looks like the Titans will go with their punt game here on 4th down. Excuse me, their punt team here on 4th down and 17.
And looks like Otero's a lone returner on this. Interesting to see.
Well, Crocker to punt it. Gets it away cleanly. A line drive kick right to Otero, and Otero lost the football. It's a loose ball. Who's got it? No signal yet. Looked like Portsmouth Abbey may have found a way to get right back on the ball.
That would have been tough. That's a lucky.
And they are calling it a Ravens ball, but that almost was a disaster.
That could have been a killer.
So Portsmouth Abbey just avoided a big break there.
Yeah, heads up play by the Ravens blockers to realize the fumble.
Well, now 1st down. Ravens coming out with Crabtree and Plum both in the backfield. Handoff will go to Plum, and he will be stopped right away. Maybe a gain of a yard or so, and it's 2nd down.
Just tough there. There's nowhere really to go. Hard inside play. You just got to hope that there's blockers.
And now one of the players on this Portsmouth Abbey team that really has had the best ball control is Victor Otero. It's almost unfortunate to see him muff that punt there, but luckily
It was an unexpected play by him for sure.
It absolutely was, but luckily his defenders were in the area and able to recover it. Hoey under center. Otero in the backfield here. And Hoey back to pass, looking for Crowley down the far sideline, and it is broken up. First pass play of the game by the Ravens, and it's going to bring us to 3rd down.
Looking for Otero right there. Tough catch. I mean, that was really just a 50-50 ball. And, I mean, the worst situation you get there is a pick, and the best you can get is a catch. So just an incomplete pass is kind of in the middle. Not too good, not too bad. Interesting to see their first pass play. Hoey's being aggressive, throwing it downfield. And I think that's smart to target this type of weaker defense.
Well, now on 3rd and 8, I think you got to expect the pass here. No, it's going to be a toss to the right to Plum. Plum looking for blockers, and he won't get any as he gets just out to the line of scrimmage, and that brings the Ravens to 4th down.
So it looks like it has to be a punt here.
And for the
Punt's
first time
coming
today, we will see Ben Kendall as he is trotting out onto the field. Kendall in his junior year as the Ravens' kind of special teams punter and kicker. He does it all. And he'll be ready for the first punt of the game for Portsmouth Abbey. And Jean Roux is back deep to return. Kendall gets it off cleanly, and Roux will just let it go as it is down around the 45-yard line, and that's where Justice McDougal will get the drive started as we come back right here on the Beacon Online. Well, welcome back here to Portsmouth, Rhode Island. McDougal coming out of the shotgun with trips to the left, formation we've seen frequently throughout this game. And McDougal back to pass. He's going to go a screen to the left. Roux looking for room, and Roux is going to find room as he runs down the far sideline, and he's out of bounds around the 36-yard line. Same play we saw earlier in this game, and once more going for a big chunk.
Just big playability. I mean, that play looked dead from the beginning, but Roux just found a way to break outside and get some yardage.
So Roux already a factor early on here on these wide receiver screens to the left.
And I mean, when you look at Roux and his resume through the season, you just see big playability all around. that game, 5 touchdowns in the first half is just unreal. But the Ravens haven't been too bad at neutralizing him so far.
Oh, a handoff up the middle to Caden Brodniks, and he'll be brought down after a gain of about 4 yards or so on the carry. And by the way, I said the last play that Rue was down at the 35. Well, the referees actually called him out of bounds just before that around the 44-yard line. Nonetheless, 2nd down and 6 coming for the Titans.
Interested to see what they'll do here. Maybe go back to the run game. They got some good yardage on that first run.
Well, under 3 minutes to play here in the opening quarter, as the Ravens and the Titans playing here on Parents' Weekend. And back to pass.
Complete over the middle.
Complete over the middle to Heald, and he's got it close down to the 34 yards. McDougal to Heald, a connection we saw a lot last week, and here it is showing up early on this week.
Yeah, great read there by McDougal. Seeing the open man, finding him. Good job by the Ravens not letting him get any extra yardage after the catch, though.
Well, Aiden Heald, he is also listed as the Titans kicker, and he's kind of a whole entire holistic player. Shut down defensive end, excellent wide receiver, decent kicker. It's a junior from Weston, Massachusetts, and here he is today, already making his presence known. McDougal back to pass. He wants to go deep, under pressure, and the Ravens defense will bring him down. Portsmouth Abbey's first sack on the day, and that brings us to 2nd down.
Great play by the D-line. They've been pressuring McDougal already, not giving him time to throw, and that's exactly what you want to do. Give your secondary some time to relax and not have to do all the work themselves.
That was Chris Zeiser there to burst through, bring the pressure, and bring down Justice McDougal. So it's going to be about 2nd down and 18 yards. That's one thing the Titans have gotten after they've made the chunk plays and they've gotten into Portsmouth Abbey's territory. They've just been moving backward, and that's the last thing you want to see out of an offense. Well, here we go, 2nd down.
Motion.
Titans motion, number 14 to the right. McDougal rolling to his left. He's going to keep it, and he is going to escape one tackle, but then brought down around the 30-yard line. So a pickup of about 4 yards on the play, but it's still going to be 3rd down and long.
He's slippery. I mean, that's a great play.
Well, the Ravens, they've seen multiple mobile quarterbacks this season, one of which was Karis Saplis against Tilton, and the Portsmouth Abbey defense did an excellent job at slowing down Saplis and really just giving him nowhere to run, and those slippery plays were irrelevant against Tilton. But here we see McDougal make his first.
As you saw there, he broke the tackle, but they had plenty of guys back on him. So, they're just going to keep that up. QB spies, anything you need to equalize that mobile quarterback is important.
Well, Nick Moran in the backfield with Braddock's as an extra blocker, and McDougal looking to fire downfield, looking for Connor Murphy, and that's incomplete. Murphy trying a little toe tap swag, so to say there, but the Titans could not connect, and it's 4th down.
That's good defense. Didn't give him much time, had to release. Pretty accurate ball, actually, but just a tough play.
Well, 47.5 seconds read on the clock right now in the first quarter of a scoreless game between the Ravens and the Titans. Well, now on 4th and long, it looks like the Titans are looking to go for it. Who do you think McDougal is going to be looking toward?
I mean, it's a gutsy call here, but we've seen him target all 3 different receivers. He's hit Aiden Heald. He just targeted number 5, Connor Murphy there. And then obviously he has Rue. So it's going to be interesting. I think that they have 2 backers in the backfield, so extra protection.
Well, Murphy back to pass. Murphy under pressure, and he is going to just throw it away. Really a great job to kind of get that ball
that's
out of bounds.
Danny McKenna coming in hot right there, and that's
a flag then came in late here, and this should be interesting to see. It might be an illegal grounding.
That's what it looks like.
And it will be. Penalty is declined. Turnover on downs. And Shane Hoey will be trotting out when we come back. Right here on the Beacon Online. And welcome back here to Portsmouth, Rhode Island. With 40 seconds left, this very well could be the final play of the quarter. It's a handoff to Plum, and Plum almost breaking free. He gets 8 yards on the play as the clock winding down, and it's second and short for the Ravens.
And like I said at the pregame analysis, Plum's just a guy you can give plenty of carries per game. He had 27 for 149 against Tilton. And that's just a bell cow type back. I mean, he'll just grind it out. And we've already saw it in this game. Great vision, great just physical running.
Well, 2nd and 2, and it looks like Ravens are going to try to get a play in before the end of the quarter. They will. Hoey rolling out to his right, going to throw it into the flats to Otero. He's got a first down, and he is going to be brought down right afterward. Mark him down around the 44, and that will end the first quarter as it's scoreless. Ravens, Titans, right here on Parents Weekend at Portsmouth, Rhode Island. This is The Beacon Online. And welcome back here as the opening play is a toss to the right, and cutting up field is Josh Plum as he got about 5 yards on the play. Portsmouth Abbey will start the second quarter driving into the win now as we get set for a 2nd and 5.
And you've seen good division from the ball, run plays, pass plays. They're really opening up this defense.
Well, 2nd down and 5. Shane Hoey right before the half with a big completion to Victor Otero, who had his first reception of the game. It was interesting to see the Ravens kind of run to the line of scrimmage, get the snap in, and they were hoping to catch the Titans off guard. Well, here we go, 2nd down. Otero, the motion man. It's a toss to the left to Plum, and he is wrapped up right away on the tackle. Was Aiden held, and that's going to be a loss for the Ravens.
And like we already said, Aiden Hield does it all. That's the type of football player you want on your team. Physical, just gets to the ball.
Well, going on right now, behind the track on your screen is the Portsmouth Abbey Ravens cross-country Parents Weekend matchup as they are taking on Marionopolis today. Other games going on across campus. Varsity field hockey is taking on Bancroft. Varsity volleyball also taking on Bancroft, while boys JV soccer is taking on Worcester, and boys varsity golf is taking on Berwick. And in the very back of the camera, you can see the golf course, the Aquidneck Island Club. Well, here we go. Shane Hoey under center, and Hoey is back to pass, setting up a screen to the right to Otero. Otero's got blockers, and he's got room to run. He's got the first down as well as he's brought down around the 42-yard line.
Good poise by Hoey. They're rolling out, recognizing that there's going to be players coming at him. That's how the screen's set up, but stayed confident, made the throw. Great gain.
So first down for Portsmouth Abbey, and we saw that same slip screen to Victor Otero against Tilton 3 weeks ago. We see it again today, and once more, big chunks catching the defense off guard with those screens.
Screens are deceiving. I mean, it looks like you got a wide open hit on the quarterback. The ball's out, and then the receiver's just upfield.
Hoey going to toss to the left to Plum. Plum looking for blockers, getting blockers as a flag is thrown, and this one might be coming back. But for the moment, it's close to a first down.
Yeah, it looks like a holding call on the Abbey. Tough.
Scott Beliveau, the referee today, and it will be offensive holding. And that's going to bring Portsmouth Abbey back 10 yards and bring us to second down. Or excuse me, they will replay first down. So it's 2nd and 20 now. First and 20. The last thing you want to see is an offensive hold after a big first down reception.
Just morality-wise, it's a killer. Everyone's hyped up about the play, and then you have to go all the way back.
Well, we saw on their opening drive after a false start, Portsmouth Abbey was able to rebound on the following play. Hoey is back to pass again. He's under pressure. He's going to air it out, and it's incomplete in the direction of Stephen Crabtree was the intended target. And it's second down here as the Titans defense got home on Shane Hoey.
A lot of pressure by the Titans lately.
Hoey was hoping, even with the pressure, he was able to find his fullback open down in the flats. That was not the case. Good coverage by the Titans secondary.
And that's such a tough throw. Like I said, you always want your defensive lineman to be able to create pressure in the backfield. It's tough for the quarterback to make a throw. It makes your job easier as a defensive back.
9 minutes to go in the second quarter of play. Hoey hands it off to Plum, and Plum is wrapped up again. Titans once more stopping Josh Plum, and that once more is a loss of 4 yards on the play, and it's going to make it 3rd and 24.
And that's Aiden Heald again, getting to the ball.
Aiden Heald, he really has made his presence known both on offense with a big reception and defense with a sack, and now 2 crucial stops as a defensive end.
And 6'2", 187. That's just a physical presence on the line.
Well, Portsmouth Abbey has just called their first charge timeout of the first half, and we will come back right after the short break. You're watching Ravens football on the Beacon Online. And welcome back here to Portsmouth, Rhode Island, as the Ravens coming out of their first timeout of the half. And Jermaine Anson, the featured back right now. Hoey back to pass, and he's under pressure, but he will be able to just get that out as it is incomplete. And the Titans defenders thought they may have had a fumble, but it is 4th down.
Yeah, he was definitely throwing that ball. I think that the Ravens have been trying to almost force the passing game too much, and it's leading to loss of downs and just ineffective plays.
Well, Kendall to punt, Rue to return, and a decent punt there. Rue calls a fair catch around the 25-yard line, and that is where the Titans offense will get started when we come back right here on the Beacon Online. Ready? And welcome back here to Portsmouth, Rhode Island, as the Titans getting ready for their 4th drive of this opening half of play. McDougal from the shotgun, setting up a screen to Rue to the left. Rue slipping tackles, and he's on his way. Rue down the close sideline, and he is brought out of bounds close to midfield. A big play by Ajan Rue.
Just there's no other way to put it. It's a tough play. Any play is tough tackle on him. Great vision, great moves, and they seem to be relying on that quick screen pass to him.
Right. We've seen it now 3 times, that quick wide receiver screen to the left. And besides that play, we haven't seen many meaningful moments out of this Titans offense.
Mm-hmm. Really just, I feel like they're taking it slow and trying to put their best player in space. And when you have a player like that, that's your strength. So they should be relying on it.
1st down, it's going to be a quarterback keep. And that is going nowhere as McDougal brought down at the line of scrimmage. And a good job by Portsmouth Abbey's defense to force 2nd down.
Danny McKenna's been getting to that line all day. Captain this year, senior. And that's just great. That's great energy. And to be able to shut down a mobile quarterback like that is important in these games.
Well, Chris Zeiser also has been a dominant threat so far in this game at stopping both McDougal as a mobile quarterback and also Caden Brodniks, their running back. Well, here we go. 2nd down to play. McDougal going to hand it to Brodniks, and he's going to get what seems to be a yard short of the 1st down, and it's going to be 3rd and 1 for the Titans.
And great blocking scheme by the Titans offense right there. Wide open hole, and he just had to put it in the ground and pound it.
And they tried almost what looked like a draw-type play, trying to catch the Ravens' defense off guard, and boy, did they do just that.
Certainly delay there, yeah.
3rd and 1 here. And McDougal's going to keep it himself, a little sneak, and he will pick up 1st down yardage, and the chains will move as the Titans trying to put together the first scoring drive of the game.
Smart play right there. Quarterback keep, 3rd and short. Worst case scenario, you don't gain any yardage. Go for it on 4th down. So, smart play there by the Titans coaches.
Well, now, just under 6 minutes to play in the 2nd quarter in what is still a scoreless ball game. But the Titans are driving. McDougal out of the shotgun. Brodniks in the backfield. It's going to be a handoff to Brodniks, and he is stopped immediately for a gain of nothing on the play.
That's a tough tackle right there. Good job by Danny McKenna. Again, making a heads-up play. And to be able to shut down their running game, Brodniks has only had 1 big run so far on that draw play. So to be able to shut down the running game really puts pressure on the quarterback for the Titans to make throws. And with the secondary of the Ravens, that's tough.
Well, 2nd down and 10. And back to pass now is
Great pressure.
Justice McDougal, and he is brought down immediately. Portsmouth Abbey not letting him beat them as a mobile threat.
Great pressure there. He didn't even finish his drop, and they were already on him. Great pressure, great way to get through the line. And to be able to, again, be able to shut down the run game and be able to put pressure on the quarterback really just clamps down an offense.
So the Titans now looking at 3rd down and long, and that's really been the story of this first half for both offenses. We've seen a lot of 3rd and longs, 4th and longs, even 2nd and longs, and that's not how you want a drive to go. Well, I think we have to look for Rue here on 3rd and 12. McDougal out of the shotgun. He is back to pass with time, and he's going to try to take off himself, but he'll be brought down by the Portsmouth Abbey defenders after getting about 5 yards on the play.
And good tackle there by Stephen Crabtree. Reading the play, knowing he's going to run, taking him down. That's not an easy tackle we've seen before. He's able to break tackles easily, but good play there, and that's forces 4th down.
And that's where the Titans' drive will end as the punt team is coming out. Will Crocker to punt it, and Josh Plum to return it, and the punt nearly blocked as Plum takes it from the 10. Plum cuts to his left, no blockers ahead, and he'll just walk out of bounds around the 25-yard line, and that's where Portsmouth Abbey's drive will begin.
Good return there. Good hands on the catch. Not a lot of blocking, but that's the type of punt return you want. Clean. And get some decent field position.
So 3.5 minutes to play in the second quarter as the Ravens will begin to start their drive around the 26-yard line. Portsmouth Abbey yet to have a dominant drive from start to finish, and I think their opening drive was the most we saw out of that offense, but it ended with a few costly penalties and a failed 4th down attempt. Well, Hoey under center. Hoey's going to do a play action. He keeps it, and that, once again, may have been a busted play.
It really looks like miscommunication down there on the field. Can't really have that in situations like this.
And that's been the story for both teams. We saw it early on with the Titans, a few miscommunications up front. We saw it with the Ravens, a few miscommunications, including a false start penalty. But besides that, we haven't seen any big penalties, such as kind of pass interferences. Nothing really crucial, but a few that have led to slow starts on offense. Well, Hoey under center, and he's going to hand it off to Otero, who is brought down right away. Portsmouth Abbey's run game, non-existent so far in this first half.
And besides those 2 opening drives, their run game hasn't really been able to establish itself as well as it did. So will they turn to the passing game possibly?
Well, with 2.5 to go right now, the clock stops. No signal yet by the referee whether or not it's a charged timeout to either team or if
It looked like it could have been a fumble on the play.
that very well might be the case, as the Titans thought they had recovered it at the later end of the play, but the referees blew it dead, and now they're calling Titans football.
Oh, that's a killer.
The first turnover of the game will go to Wilbraham and Monson, and they're going to have excellent field position with 2.5 minutes to play.
That's just the worst place you want to turn over the ball. First 2 plays of the drive, can't get anywhere. Ball security is just key. That sets up the Titans with an easy field position at around the 25-yard line.
And with the first half coming to a close, the one thing Wilbraham and Monson really want to do is get a few points on that board.
You really want to set your tone. You want to be the team walking into the locker room at halftime with points.
McDougal back to pass. McDougal's going to keep it himself, and he's wrapped up. Loss of a yard on the play, and it's 2nd down. Good job by Portsmouth Abbey's front.
They really just haven't given him any room. they definitely game plan for him, and they're doing a great job so far.
Well, the Ravens secondary has done a very good job at stopping these Wilbraham and Monson wide receivers, as many times now we've seen McDougal drop back to pass, have no one in coverage, and then he's left to his own devices, and he has to make nothing into something. And unfortunately for him, he's been unable to do that. So now 2nd down and 11 on the play as McDougal out of the shotgun, trips to the right. McDougal's back to pass, going to look, fire it down the middle of the field, got Murphy coming in on a deep post, and that will set the Titans up around the 10-yard line for 1st and goal.
And that's really just, again, a great read, good pass, and that's just momentum that you need in this late quarter situation.
And the Titans will use their first charge timeout of the half, and when we come back here on the Beacon Online, it's going to be 1st and goal for Wilbraham and Monson, as it's a scoreless first half thus far. You're watching Ravens football on the Beacon Online. And now out of the timeout, the Titans looking to score here as the handoff goes to Braddox, and he will get a few yards on the carry. Well, if, say, the Titans are stopped here in the red zone, one thing that is to note is Aiden Held has been inconsistent as their kicker.
They haven't had a consistent kicking unit, so really the Ravens' goal here is to just hold no more yardage, definitely stop the touchdown, and just hope that their kicking woes continue.
And back to pass here. Gonna look, fires it wide open, wide receiver, and that's Rue. He's got the game's first touchdown.
And that's a great route. Great read by McDougal to find him. And that's a tough play.
And Justice McDougal looking for somebody, and who else but Jean Rue to find a way to get separation and become the open wide receiver in the end zone, as the Titans strike here with 54 seconds left in the first half. It is right now 6-0, and it's interesting here. They are coming with their whole offensive line to the left of the ball. Murphy takes the snap. Murphy's going to try to run it in, and he is stopped short.
Is he?
No signal yet by the referees.
Looked like he reached out right at the end there.
It looked like, yes, he may have reached out for the pylon.
And it looks like Josh Plum.
And they're going to give it to him.
Play.
So somehow Connor Murphy making what seemed to be a weird trick play into a two-point conversion with the majority of the offensive line set up on the left side of the field. And you have two right down the seams. Just an interesting
really
formation.
Weird formation. Reminded me of that low light you always see of the Colts trick play against the Patriots.
I was about to say that as well. Yeah, when the Colts came out with literally their whole entire offensive line to the right side of the ball, and then they just had their punter and two down the seams. But
that play worked, I guess.
That play, unlike that fake punt by the Colts, was a success, as the Titans, it's yet to be posted on the scoreboard, but it looks like it is now an 8-0 Titans lead with 54 seconds remaining in the half. And with these 54 seconds, what do you think the Ravens should do offensively?
I think they should try to go for the big play. just to maintain some momentum going into halftime. But you definitely don't want to create another turnover, give up another turnover.
Well, the Titans taking the lead after a touchdown from McDougal to Connor Murphy to make it 8-0 here at the end of the second quarter, and that drive began with excellent field position for the Titans after the Ravens fumbled the ball in what seemed to be a kind of a questionable call, whether or not it was a fumble, whether or not Otero was down or not. Nonetheless, it's an 8-0 Titans lead with under a minute to play.
No, but one of the most important things right here is you see Josh Plum walking towards the locker room with the trainers. And that's a tough loss for the Ravens. Hopefully it's not a serious injury, and he'll be back after the half.
Well, Aiden healed, ready to kick it away.
And as you saw on that touchdown in the following two-point conversion, they used both of their prominent offensive weapons, Rue and Murphy, to kind of spread it out. And they have versatility there at their wide receiver position.
And back deep is Otero to return it. This will be received by Andrew Bush, and Bush cutting left, and he's brought down around the 31-yard line as Bush back deep on that return, simply because, as you said, Josh Plum on his way to the locker room.
No, good return. I mean, they have 48 seconds, couple big plays, set them up for field goal. We know Kendall is a pretty accurate kicker so far through the season.
Well, since Portsmouth Abbey went to their pass game at the beginning of the second quarter, we've seen nothing except them going backward. So it should be interesting whether or not they're going to try a run here. Well, they will try the run. It's a handoff up the middle to their fullback, and that's a gain of 2 or so as the clock will run, and no timeout by the Ravens. Portsmouth Abbey seems to just be trying to get this to halftime.
Probably a smart move here. Give them a break and just recoup and hopefully come out in the second half ready to fire.
Now under 20 seconds remaining in the second quarter as Hoey will take the snap and hand it once again to his fullback, Stephen Crabtree, who is brought down, and that right there is the final play of this opening half. The Ravens unable to find the scoreboard as they trail 8-0 over the Wilbraham and Monson Titans. And we will be back with more in the third quarter. But until then, you're watching Portsmouth Abbey Ravens football here on the Beacon Online. And welcome back here for the second half as we are ready for kickoff. Ben Kendall to boot it. Portsmouth Abbey trailing 8-0 to the Wilbraham and Monson Titans. As it's a little squib
Good kick
kick.
there.
Return to the left is Kennedy, and Kennedy brought
and
down
a
and a loose
fumble.
ball, and the Ravens appear to be on the scene, and they have possession. Portsmouth Abbey taking over around the 35-yard line after the muffed opening kickoff of the second half.
And recovered by Bush. And that's a great play. That's a wow.
And
That sets him up.
Andrew Bush, he has made his presence known on special teams so far this season. He had the blocked punt against Tilton a few weeks ago, and here he is recovering the opening kickoff of the second half. Hoey under center. Hoey going to hand it off to Crabtree, who will get about 4 yards on the play. And we now have word that Josh Plum, as we said at the end of the half, he left and he is out for the game with a shoulder injury. And when we have more news regarding Josh Plum, we will make sure to bring you that.
And that's a tough loss for the Ravens. We've already seen his impact. Those first couple drives, they were really giving them a lot of carries, a lot of yards, and we'll see how they adapt from now. They still have Otero and obviously Crabtree, so it'll be interesting to see who their main leader is.
Oh,
Here's
Hoey
Otero
going to
right
toss
here.
it to the right to Otero, who's running right down the middle of the Titans defense. Otero looking for room, and he is going to be finally brought down around the 15-yard line. Big carry by Victor Otero, and Portsmouth Abbey off to a hot start.
That's great speed, great vision, and at the end, just great agility, finding anywhere to find extra yards, and really just caught that defense off guard.
So the chains move here early on with 10:58 on the clock. Portsmouth Abbey.
And they're threatening here right at the 15-yard line.
And they're going to toss it back to Otero, this time to the left. Otero looking to make a move, and he is moving forward, brought down. Mark him around the 4-yard line. It's first and goal for the Ravens.
Back-to-back runs, same play, different sides of the field, and they worked perfectly both times.
Excellent blocking on both plays, also for Portsmouth Abbey. And now, without Josh Plum, Victor Otero getting the carries, and he's making plays. And also, we apologize, by the way, for the camera difficulties so far today. We will be working on them and hopefully improving them as the season goes on. Well, first down and goal for the Ravens from the Titans' 5-yard line. Hoey under center. He's going to hand it to Crabtree, who is brought down around the 2-yard line, and it's second and goal.
And in this type of situation, you're so close to the goal line. Those plays are really your bread and butter. You want to just drive the ball and get to the goal line. Didn't get it there, but way to just play smash mouth football.
And Jermaine Anson in the game at tailback.
And Jermaine's interesting. He's the only freshman on the Ravens varsity team. The Titans have quite a few freshmen on their squad, but we'll see what he has to offer with Plum injured.
Anson is the motion back. It's going to be a toss to the right to Otero. Otero is going to be brought down just short of the goal line, and it's third down.
Good play by the Titans defense, getting to the ball. That's a tough play. It'll be interesting to see what they call here on third down. You're obviously going to go for it on fourth. You could always kick the field goal with Kendall, but I feel like the Ravens want to score a touchdown here.
And with it being 8-0 rather than 6-0, if Portsmouth Abbey was to have stopped the Titans on that 2-point try, then maybe you consider the field goal. But down 8, a field goal at this point in the game when your offense hasn't been doing anything for the last 2 weeks, I think you have to go for it.
Exactly. When you see the game, the way the game is developed, you really want to score points when you have this type of chance. So a touchdown here is definitely the Ravens' goal.
Well, Portsmouth Abbey already using a timeout here early as 9 minutes in the third quarter. But we will be calling next week's game as Portsmouth Abbey takes on the Hamden Hall School. That's 3:30 p.m. kickoff right here at Portsmouth, Rhode Island. And a big shout out to Kevin Crabtree and the Villanova football team, one of the top-ranked teams in the nation, sitting at 6-1 right now. And we thank all of you guys for tuning in to the Ravens and the Titans here on a Sunday afternoon as Portsmouth Abbey coming out of the timeout trying to capitalize here with their first red zone trip of the afternoon as it's 3rd and goal from the 3-yard line.
Interesting to see if they throw here.
Once again, Anson in the backfield because of Plum's injury. It's a toss to the left to Otero. He's got a lane, and he's in. Touchdown, Ravens. Portsmouth Abbey finds the scoreboard for the first time today.
And you see that drive, a good majority of those plays were the same play. Tosses to Otero, let him do the work. He's a change of pace back. He's quick, and we saw it on the touchdown drive right there.
And now a big 2-point try with hope of evening the score at 8 aside with 8:56 in the third quarter. Well, Victor Otero, after the injury to Josh Plum, getting the carries, and Portsmouth Abbey finding their way into the end zone.
And this is pivotal here. With the way this game has been going, the defensive slugfest, you need these points.
Hoey back to pass. Hoey looking for somebody to the right. Pass is intercepted and brought down just short of the 20-yard line. So the 2-point try is no good. Tended target on the play was Will Crowley in the back right corner. So Portsmouth Abbey will kick it off now with the score sitting at 8-6 with 9 minutes in the quarter. Well, just like Wilbraham and Monson's touchdown drive, Portsmouth Abbey starting that after a humongous turnover. And right now on the field, slow to get off is Jermaine Anson, as looks like he might be dealing with an ankle injury.
Now that one bugged him. He injured his ankle during practice a couple weeks ago. Interesting to see if it's the same type of injury coming back.
Well, he was a little soft on his right ankle, it looks, and the trainer is going to be taking a look at him right now as Portsmouth Abbey getting ready to kick it off after a humongous touchdown drive to begin the second half.
And great plays all around, but paying the price with another injury to a back is tough, especially with the loss of Crines and Plum.
Well, it's a squib kick from Kendall, and picking up is Kennedy again. Kennedy, he's got room, and he is brought down, nearly taking that to the house, and that is where the Titans will start their drive at the 45-yard line on the Portsmouth Abbey Ravens side of the 50.
Heads-up play by him. He probably wasn't expecting the kick to hit to him, but he took it, and he just took off.
Well, Portsmouth Abbey's defense, they found a way, shockingly, to limit Jean Roux only to 3 receptions for 67 yards. But then again, that's 67 yards. He has been a presence on the Titans offense, and you have to imagine that they're going to try to get him in here in the second half. Well, back to pass is McDowell, and he's got Murphy brought down around the 38-yard line, close to a first down.
And you always want to assume they're going to target Roux more in the second half. You saw the effectiveness of the screens they were throwing him in the first half, so look to see if that continues.
So it's 2nd and 2 as McDougal walking out, ready to call the play as for the Titans. If you can capitalize here after Portsmouth Abbey's answer, then that will put the Ravens in a really tight position.
Especially with the 2-point conversion failed.
And a low snap, McDougal takes it, and he will be wrapped up immediately to make it 3rd and short.
Again, another miscommunication at the line of scrimmage for the Titans. That's a tough play. Busted plays are just lost plays. And, again, a good play by McKenna and that defensive line to wrap him up quick.
So 3rd down and 2 for the Titans. Big play coming here. Again, in the first half, these 3rd downs were really 3rd and 10s and 3rd and 15s. This is one of the first 3rd and shorts that we've seen out of either offense.
And we're seeing an interesting stacked formation. Looks like 4 receivers stacked up on that left side.
So empty backfield. McDougal going to throw a screen to the right, and look out as breaking free was Roux. But the question is, did he catch that? Very low pass.
That's going to be interesting to see. Doesn't look like the Ravens are challenging.
And the referees yet to signal a moving of the chains. It looks like they're going to say it was, in fact, incomplete.
Good call there by the refs.
Either that or maybe he stepped out of bounds just before
Could be
that.
short
But
of the first down. Looks like you definitely go for it here.
so 4th down and 1. And for Portsmouth Abbey's defensive front that we've seen them dominant throughout, this would be a humongous stop.
You definitely want to see them step up as they have all game, and just put the hammer down and stop them.
Well, Caden Brodniks, he's had a few decent runs, but he is yet to really break free.
Yeah, they haven't really used him as much as I've expected. Looks to see quarterback sneak here.
And it's a quarterback sneak, and breaking free down the middle of the field is Justice McDougal. What a play call on 4th down.
And it looked like they were going to get him early, but he just slips out of those tackles and just takes off.
Well, Portsmouth Abbey unable to stop McDougal there on one of the first plays we've seen the Titans run from under center. Well, now back out of the shotgun. McDougal wanting to pass. He will. Fires it to the right. It is complete. And on his way into the end zone is who else but Ajan Rue for his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Titans answer right back.
And you really give that potency just to their offense, to their playmakers. Got the ball out quick, let Rue do the work, and he's been doing that all day. And what do you know, he's got 2 touchdowns on the day.
Well, we knew coming into this, Ajan Rue would be a dominant threat. He had over 200 receiving yards in his game last week. And once again, here he is, 2 touchdown passes. Although under 100 receiving yards, he has made his presence known. And the
Great
extra
special
point
teams
right
play.
there, it is blocked. As coming around the end was Andrew Bush. And last week we saw Josh Plum have a blocked extra point. But today it's Andrew Bush who has really made his presence known in special teams so far in the second half.
Getting that fumble recovery to set up the touchdown and now blocking the extra point. And this should even out. You got a 14-6 ball game, and it'll be down to the Ravens to score and get the 2-point.
And a humongous play because now it still is a 1-score game. You kick that extra point there, we're talking about 15-6. Portsmouth Abbey, they need to put together 2 scoring drives if they're going to have any chance at coming away with a victory today. But the blocked extra point puts that idea of winning still in mind.
Yeah, and that's a great effort by the special teams to know what their situation is, what they need to do to keep it a 1-score game. So kudos to them.
Now this is a humongous drive coming for Portsmouth Abbey as their only scoring drive began with excellent field position from a muffed punt, a fumble off a kickoff return. Same thing was said for the Titans until that last drive. But here, if Portsmouth Abbey can find a way to move the ball successfully downfield, get into the end zone, then we're talking about a game. Will Held will kick it off, and it's a high spiraling kick, and leaping up is Portsmouth Abbey. That nearly was recovered by the Titans.
And they've been mixing up their kick game all game. They're really giving them a lot of different looks, and confusing definitely for the special teams.
Yeah, Aiden Held, he really has been all over the place today. We saw on the opening kickoff an onside kick. Then we saw him boot an absolute bomb. And then here he is with this mix between a high onside and kind of a squib. Very interesting play call.
You always want to know if he's trying to do it or not. He might just be squibbing on the ball, or if it's a strategy. Be interesting.
And Portsmouth Abbey with great field position to start the drive close to midfield. Oh, he's going to pass here, wanting to go deep and long for Crowley, and it is caught!
Catch.
Crowley, what a catch! He's on his way! Makes a move, cutting back upfield, and he is brought down around the 6-yard line. Will Crowley with the biggest play of Portsmouth Abbey's offensive day thus far.
And that's how you fight for a ball. You catch it, and then you just take off. And Will Crowley, he's been their most potent receiver. Has scored in at least half their games. Really just their closest answer to Rue for the Ravens offense.
And Will Crowley, we saw him 2 weeks ago against New Hampton. He had 4 receptions, 55 yards. Here he is with his first reception of the day, and it is big. Handoff goes to Otero to the left, and he is stopped in the backfield for a loss. The Titans defense coming right back and slowing down Portsmouth Abbey's offense.
And there you see Ajan Rue and what he can do on defense. Really just a dynamic player and an athlete.
So a golden opportunity, even after the loss, for Portsmouth Abbey to get right back into this after a excellent scoring drive by the Titans. 5.5 to play here in the third quarter. It's 14-6. Wilbraham and Monson leads over the Portsmouth Abbey Ravens.
And you definitely want to capitalize here after that momentum changer by Crowley.
Hoey hands it to Otero up the middle, and Otero slipping one tackle, then brought down at the 5-yard line. So Portsmouth Abbey gets what they lost right back on that carry, but it's third down.
Interesting to see what they'll do here. See if they'll go back to that power pitch they were using on the previous drive that got them the touchdown. Looks like Otero's coming off the field, and they'll be charging a timeout.
So the Ravens use their timeout, and when we come back, it's a crucial third down and goal from the 5-yard line. It's Portsmouth Abbey 6, Wilbraham and Monson 14. You're watching The Beacon Online. And welcome back here as the Ravens getting ready for third down and goal. Hoey, back to pass. He's going to float it, and it is it caught? No signal
It's
yet
a
by the
touchdown.
referee. Touchdown, Portsmouth Abbey.
What a catch
Shane
by
Hoey
Crowley.
almost underthrew his target, but an excellent catch, and the Ravens answer right back.
And honestly, John, I think he was going for Crabtree there on the floater, but Crowley just comes through, sees the ball, and makes a great play.
It almost looked like Portsmouth Abbey was running a screen as Shane Hoey with a great play fake, but then I don't know if it was busted coverage or whatnot.
It looked like the blockers just weren't there.
But he found a way to find the end zone, and now a crucial 2-point try for the Ravens.
Either way, that's just an incredible play. Crowley leading him down the field and then making the red zone play like that. It's just great football.
And it's a toss to Otero. Otero going to throw it right back to the left, and the Titans are there to stop Portsmouth Abbey. So for the second time today, the Ravens fail to convert their 2-point try. But nonetheless, Portsmouth Abbey gets right back on the board with a humongous touchdown drive. It's the Ravens 14, the Titans 12. 4:44 remain in the third quarter. You're watching Portsmouth Abbey football on the Beacon Online. And Ben Kendall will kick an onside kick, and Portsmouth Abbey thinks they've got it.
Looks like they
Did it go 10 yards? That's the question. Kendall's got his hands up. No signal by the referees. Did Portsmouth Abbey touch it before it went the distance? And no, looks like we have an offsides on the kicking team. That is the official call. So the Ravens try an onside kick. It looked like it worked for success, but then an offsides call, and that will push Portsmouth Abbey back 10 yards. Really an absolute killer on that kickoff.
Gutsy call there and great execution. Besides the penalty, they had 4 guys that could have grabbed the ball, and they were smart to wait for it to roll to 10, but the penalty just killed it.
Well, now this is interesting. So the Ravens run an onside kick. They have to re-kick, and the Titans don't change their return team at all. But I would expect Portsmouth Abbey to boot this.
I think they're expecting another onside kick.
And it looked like that's what Kendall wanted, but then another piece of laundry came onto the field, and once again another offsides on the Ravens kickoff team.
Wow.
Really just a weird
sequence here.
Sequence, exactly. 2 onside kick attempts. Both are blown dead because
they didn't even get to kick
of an
ball.
offsides. So now they will kick it. And it will go right down the middle of the field, returned at the 40. And that is going to be Rue. And Rue still bouncing off tackles. He is brought out of bounds around the 45. Rue looked like he was down at multiple points throughout that series, but found a way to get into open space and pick up some decent yardage.
Mm-hmm. And the number one thing for the defense here for the Ravens is just not to give up. They've been working hard all game, but this is where this is clutch time for them.
Now, really a disappointing series of events right there, especially with that first onside kick, which looked like it was going to go Portsmouth Abbey's way, and then it's blown dead. And then you try a second one, and that's blown dead, both because of offsides penalties.
Those just kill you once in a while.
But now the Ravens defense looking for their second turnover of the game on this drive. McDougal going to hand it to Denox, and Denox running right down the middle of the field. He's brought down, but not before picking up a first down.
Yeah, and like you said, he could be an X factor at times. You see it right there. Power run through the middle and just breaks away with some speed.
Caden Bradnox, he had 83 rushing yards last game, and he's coming close to that mark today. Really a factor in an offense that seems to be primarily a passing offense. Handoff goes back to Bradnox, and this time Portsmouth Abbey's defense is there to hold him only to a few, and it's second down.
Interesting back-to-back run plays. Trying to maybe tired out this defense of the Ravens.
One of the rare times we've seen that today out of, as I said, a primarily passing offense where you have wide receivers like Connor Murphy and then Ajan Rue that can burn your secondary. But here the Titans possibly...
The worst case right here is your secondary possibly getting tired from just watching this running play and then having a pass play come out of nowhere. That's something you definitely don't want to happen in this type of situation.
Exactly. Well, McDougal on second down. He's going to pass here. He's going to float it down the field. Murphy! What a catch! And Murphy's got it down around the 11-yard line. Fully extended in air, Connor Murphy. And he is brought down at the 11. But now looks like he may have injured himself on that play. And this would be an absolute killer for the Titans. As Connor Murphy,
he doesn't seem to be getting up.
He's on a knee right now, and with his face right into the grass.
Extend for that play.
Both teams' trainers are out there, and Connor Murphy, he's been an absolute dominant presence on this Titans offense. He is the last thing that they want.
To have an offense with Rue, Murphy, and obviously Brodnax at running back, you have a lot of options. You have a lot of potency. And they've really shown this on this drive. You had the kick return by Rue, the 2 runs by Brodnax, and now this catch by Murphy.
Well, his teammates are on a knee, so are half of the Portsmouth Abbey's defense, as trainers looking at him. And what a catch, by the way, but almost unclear as to what the problem may be as he went fully extended.
He seems to be walking off on his own power.
Right.
Hopefully nothing serious.
That is, of course, whether or not it's a concussion injury or more of a shoulder injury, but doesn't appear to be on his legs. Well, nonetheless, it's going to be first down here from the 12-yard lines for the Titans, as Wilbraham and Monson trying to tack on another score, as we are looking at the final 3 minutes of this third quarter of play. Portsmouth Abbey yet to have a turnover on defense. They had one on special teams, which led to their first touchdown drive. And here's a handoff to Braddocks, and Braddocks is brought down in the backfield. Portsmouth Abbey's defense getting right in there to bring down number 21.
And that's number 7, Evan Ventura, making a great play. We've seen him contribute for sure on special teams, but good to see defensive presence there.
So an excellent play by Portsmouth Abbey's defense. And then Caden Bradnax, he kind of hurt himself trying to escape. He only went backwards. And one thing you never want to do in football is go backwards, as that will only hurt you, as it did on that run.
Especially in the red zone scenario where every yard counts here.
Well, now it's second down and 20. And interesting to note, the Titans are without their number 2 wide receiver. They still do have a Jean Roux.
And they do have number 88.
Back to
Aiden
pass.
Haywood.
Looking to go deep. And rolling to the right is Justice McDougall. He's going to throw it incomplete, as the intended target on the play was Will Crocker. His first look of the game, as Crocker's kind of been irrelevant, but without Connor.
Yeah, without Connor Murphy, you definitely have to find another receiver to step up. But great pressure there by the Ravens D-line, as they had all game, and also preventing McDougall from running there, making him throw the incomplete pass.
Exactly. Of course, without their number 2 wide receiver, Connor Murphy, you're probably going to see throughout this game a few new names pop up in the receiving corps. Either that, or we're going to see a Jean Roux get more targets, because Jean Roux, only 4 targets, 2 of which are touchdowns, and the other 2 have been big screens. Right now, the Titans called their first timeout of the half, and that leaves both teams with 2 timeouts. Portsmouth Abbey trailing 14-12. A score here would make it 2 scores and possibly put this game out of reach for the Ravens, as the third quarter winding down. But we saw in their previous drive, Portsmouth Abbey, finally the pass game work, as Shane Hoey took his first shot of the game for Will Crowley, who broke free, a gain of 63 yards on the play, and that led to a touchdown from Shane Hoey to Will Crowley, 3-yard score, and Portsmouth Abbey is now right back in this one. As here we go, third down and 20. First down yardage is at the 2-yard line. Rolling to his right is McDougall, and he's wanted to go deep, pump fake, and now he is brought down right away. Mark him down around the 17-yard line, and it's 4th and long.
Great play. Great play by the Ravens. Not giving him a target. He had enough time to throw, but good job by the secondary preventing that, and then by that time the pass rush got to him.
So Portsmouth Abbey's defense able to bring the pressure and limit McDougall to only a yard on that almost escape. Won't go down as a sack as he got past the line of scrimmage, but the secondary did an excellent job at stopping the Titans' wide receivers. And now 4th down, Titans will go for it.
Big play here. 4th down in the red zone in this type of game is very important.
I would be shocked if we don't see a Jean Roux here. Will Crocker also could be a factor. And
He lobs up to
McDougall going to lob it back of the end zone, incomplete. Aiden held the intended target, and Portsmouth Abbey's secondary gets a stop, and that will lead to a turnover on downs, as Shane Hoey and the Ravens offense will be coming back out
And you see the defensive front there of Nate Braden, Danny McKenna really getting in his face, making him force that tough throw, and the secondary was all over the end zone. So really nowhere to go with that ball, and good D by the Ravens.
Well, now, in under a minute to go here in this third quarter, what do you think the Ravens are going to do offensively? Go back to the pass game or try to run it down the Titans' throats?
It's great in those previous two scoring drives because you saw great explosiveness from both the run game and the pass game.
Handoff goes to Stephen Crabtree, the fullback. So he got about 2 yards on the carry. And we've seen the Ravens run a few of those fullback dive-type plays. They've not really ran it to much success, but they have been able to get 3 to 5 yards on those carries, which are just good drive starters, right?
And the whole point of those plays is really to just drive down and put a presence on the defense. And then that's when you open up the field to more outside runs, pass plays, and really just more explosive play calls.
In the backfield, Anson, Crabtree, and Otero. It's a toss to Otero to the left. Otero with a spin move, and he's brought down, but not before picking up a Portsmouth Abbey Ravens first down. Markham at the 31.
Great run there. And that's really, like I said, that those types of wedge plays and those types of inside runs just opens up lanes outside for plays like that. Great play calling, great run.
And that carry, the final play of this third quarter. We go to the fourth quarter. The Ravens down 2 points, but they are driving. You're watching Portsmouth Abbey Ravens football right here on the Beacon Online. And welcome back. First carry goes to Stephen Crabtree as he's wrapped up after a few yards on first down. And it's second down and 8 to go. Portsmouth Abbey trying to take their first lead of the game here on this drive. And after we saw their previous drive really come to life as a result of a big reception by Will Crowley down the field, Ravens are yet to pass it here.
Interesting. They seem to be pounding the running game. They have 11 minutes. They have plenty of time. Interesting to see if they're trying to run out the clock and give the Titans a time frame to score.
Hoey going to toss it to Otero, who wants to pass it. Going to pass it deep down the field, and it's incomplete. Looking for Will Crowley. Ravens run a little halfback pass out of the backfield, but incomplete. Almost intercepted by the Titans.
Yeah, that was a scary play right there. Kind of overthrew it, and Rue was in good position to make the interception. Lucky that didn't happen. There's a flag down, though.
So a flag on the play. First flag we've had in a bit, besides the 2 offsides penalties on the kickoffs. So Scott Beliveau will tell us the call, and it's going to be offensive holding. That will push Portsmouth Abbey back 10 yards. Not what you want to see on this crucial drive, but nonetheless, it is going to be second and long.
And again, this might open up, need for the passing game. And they tried a little pass there, but maybe just drop back, give more traditional throwing pocket to Hoey, see what he can do.
Hoey is back to pass under pressure, trying to get it out for Crabtree. It's going to be incomplete And once again, the Titans defense just getting to Shane Hoey and really stopping him before he has time to throw.
Yeah, really, he just needs more time there. Can't get flushed out of the pocket that quick. Got to set your feet, and the Ravens line is you need him here on 3rd and long.
And that's really what we saw out of St. George's when Portsmouth Abbey tried to stretch the ball vertically in their opening scrimmage of the season. The offensive line really just did not give Shane Hoey the time he needed. And almost every play, pressure was in his face. And we saw that there as it's now 3rd down and long with the Ravens trailing 11 minutes to go. This is a crucial play in the ballgame.
Huge play here for the Ravens.
Hoey under center. He's going to roll to his left, going to float it deep down the field. Got Otero! He's got it! Otero down the sideline! Mark him down at the 25-yard line! Shane Hoey to Victor Otero on a strike.
Amazing throw. Great catch. Great run after the catch, and that's the explosive plays you want to see out of the passing game.
Exactly what Portsmouth Abbey needed. 2 things. Shane Hoey to have time in the pocket, and the second thing, an open wide receiver. They got just that on that humongous reception by Victor Otero.
And now they're well within field goal range. So you already have your tie here. But you want to pound it in for a touchdown and get that score.
Hoey under center. He's going to hand it to Crabtree on a fullback dive, and Portsmouth Abbey pushing Crabtree close to the 20-yard line, and he'll be marked down right there at the 20 as it's 2nd down and 6. So once again, a fullback dive gets you a few decent yards to start your drive, and that way you're not going to be facing 3rd and longs or even 4th and longs.
Yeah, that's a type of fundamental play you want, especially grinding to more closer field goal for Ben Kendall if that's needed. Good play call, good execution, and you need those types of calls in the red zone.
Under 10 minutes to go in the final quarter of play. Portsmouth Abbey trying to take their first lead of the game. Hoey's going to hand it to Otero, and Otero is going to be stopped right away. A loss of a few on the play, and it's 3rd down.
You really hate to see that after the nice play on 1st down. For a run play to have negative yards, you just really hate to see that.
So this is going to be about a 3rd down and 9. And in their last 2 plays, Portsmouth Abbey only going backwards.
Interesting to see if they'll throw here on 3rd down. Definitely want to be careful with the ball, though. A turnover here would be a killer.
And we saw them throw on their last 3rd down. It was 3rd and 20 when Shane Hoey hit Victor Otero on the wheel route. And Hoey's going to toss it to Otero to the right, looking for blockers. He's not going to get many. He will get to the 20-yard line. And now, what do? Do you try to take the lead with a Ben Kendall field goal attempt, or do you go for it?
Doesn't look like they're bringing out Kendall right now. This is a gutsy play call.
It certainly is. 4th down, and it's about 5 yards to the 1st down marker.
Really, John, I'd go for the field goal here. I think it's a smarter play. You're within range.
It would be a 37-yard attempt, but Portsmouth Abbey is going with the offense. Shane Hoey. And Hoey muffs the snap. It's a loose ball. Anson picks it up, and Anson is going to just walk away with it as Shane Hoey was marked down right away. Portsmouth Abbey unable to convert on 4th down. Really a disastrous way to watch the drive end.
That's just a killer. Would have been cool if they hadn't blown it dead so quick. Anson looked like he had a lane, but really just miscommunication on that play.
So Portsmouth Abbey, even after the big reception from Shane Hoey to Victor Otero, unable to capitalize. And now out comes Justice McDougal, trying to go down the field and put this game out of reach for Portsmouth Abbey. 8:25 remaining in the 4th quarter. It's going to be a handoff to Denox, and he's running right down the middle for a gain of 8 yards. And if you are just turning in, you have to keep in mind 2 things. Portsmouth Abbey without their number 1 running back, Josh Plum. And then for the Titans, Wilbraham and Monson is without one of their top wide receivers, Connor Murphy.
So, there's two offensive weapons missing on each side. So it's interesting to see how they adapt. And Portsmouth Abbey had a great drive going there. You hate to see it end with a sloppy play on fourth down.
Well, it looks like Connor Murphy actually is back in the game for the first time since leaving in the previous drive. Handoff goes to Knox, and he is going to be whistled down short of the first down, possibly about a yard short, and it's 3rd and 1.
Good up-front defense by the Ravens, stopping that run. You really don't want to let Knox break out. You've seen him have some good plays, so you want to keep him contained inside. It's a good play by the Ravens.
Well, the road ahead for the Wilbraham and Monson Titans after today's game. They will head to Dexter, where they will play Dexter Southfield School. That is a 6 o'clock primetime game next Saturday. And then they will go to Berkshire School on Saturday, November 2nd. And then their season will come to a close at Albany Academy. So it's not really great for the Titans that their final 4 games all on the road after their first 4 being at home. McDougal going to throw to the right here. It is complete and looks to be first down yardage.
Great tackle there by Otero. It's been tough to tackle Rue all game. He's slippery, but
that was a much anticipated matchup going into this game. I asked Stephen Crabtree, what should we expect as to how the Ravens secondary will quiet Rue? And he said that they're going to try to press him with Victor Otero, and then have Will Crowley, their forward safety, shadow him. That's exactly what we saw there, but Otero just getting the job done right away. So it's first down to go for the Titans. McDougal going to hand it off to Knox on a run to the left, and Knox looking for the outside, gets a block as a flag comes in. Knox is going to be pushed out of bounds, but we might have either a block in the back or a hold on the Titans.
Looks like a block in the back. Number 21, Parker Polgar, trying to make that tackle. And the Titans player just unfairly wouldn't let him go. So looks like that play will be going back.
So it is, in fact, a block in the back, and that will push the Titans back a few here. And that last play nullified as Portsmouth Abbey will look to try to bring in the pressure, stop Knox, and hopefully limit this Titans offense so that Shane Hoey can come back out and put together a game-winning drive. But until then, it starts up front with the defense. 5.5 remain. Ravens trail 14-12, fourth quarter here on Parents Weekend.
Look for a pass here on first and long.
Yeah, Titans, as they've done primarily all day long, coming out of the shotgun. It's a low snap. McDougal going to pass it out to Rue, and Rue cutting upfield. Slipped 2 tackles on the play as he gets about 7 yards, and it's second and manageable.
Yeah, good zone coverage there. They just got to finish those tackles. They had him wrapped up, but he just escaped too easily. Good read, though, by McDougal finding his open man. And, Rue's just been open this whole game.
Well, Rue, he had a few chunk plays in the first half, but here in the second half, we've seen him get more targets, including 2 of which in the end zone. Well, here we go. 2nd down and 7. Handoff from McDougal to Knox, and Portsmouth Abbey is all over it. The Ravens wrap up Knox. An excellent job by the Ravens defense, bringing the pressure and stopping the run.
Yeah, and that D-line has stepped up all game, and it's great to see him step up in this type of clutch situation. Great reading the play, great getting to the ball, and that's just the play you want on defense.
And now it's going to be 3rd down and 8 to go for the Titans. This, their biggest 3rd down of the game thus far. Portsmouth Abbey trying to stop them as there is now exactly under 4 minutes to play in the final quarter. We have seen so far today a lot out of Justice McDougal, a lot out of Connor Murphy, and a lot out of Elijah Rue. You have to hope that the Titans will try to put one of those players, or give one of those players the ball here on third down. McDougal spikes the ball as the play is blown dead via a timeout by his own team. A little frustrated there. It looked like he was going to try a pass rolling out to the right, and I think he had the coverage he wanted with Ajan Rue.
Well, you always love that as the defensive team to see what they're trying to run and then have them call their own timeout. Because now they might have to switch up the play if you've already seen it. And if not, you'll be able to get to the coverages easier.
Well, Portsmouth Abbey so far today, we've seen them run really a cover 3 zone, and then they've had, as Crabtree told me in the pregame, they've pressed Rue in man coverage. Right there was no man coverage on Rue, it didn't look like, but should be interesting to see if Portsmouth Abbey changes their defensive scheme here on third down in desperate need of a stop.
Mm-hmm. And you really just want to see what their scheme is. This is probably the most important defensive play of the game they've had. There's 3 minutes left. It's crunch time now. They just got to step up, and it's all up to them now.
Well, you're right. It is crunch time, and this is where games are won. 3:34 left on the clock. Titans trying to chew that clock here. McDougal back to pass. Pumps once. Fires deep down the field looking for Connor Murphy, and it's incomplete. Murphy had a step on his man, but just overthrown by McDougal, and it's fourth down.
And that was very close for the Ravens defense. Will Crowley just got beat by just a step, and that would have been a game changer all the way.
That's the longest pass attempt we've seen Justice McDougal make in this game, and unfortunately, it's an incompletion, and a fourth down will lead to a punt for the Titans.
Mm-hmm. And smart here by the Titans. Definitely don't go for it. Give the ball to the Ravens. They've got a little bit over 3 minutes, and to see what they can do.
Captain Will Crocker, the senior, to punt it. He will, and he gets it away. To return it is Otero. Fair catch called, and Portsmouth Abbey will begin their drive from the 35-yard line with 3:22 to play. Ravens trailing 14-12. You're watching Portsmouth Abbey football on the Beacon Online. And welcome back as Hoey back to pass on the opening play. He's going to float it for Otero, and he's got it. Was he in bounds is the question. And the referee is saying, yes, in fact, he was. A humongous reception from Victor Otero, and Portsmouth Abbey past midfield, now on the Titans side of the 50.
And that was just complete busted coverage on Otero. He was wide open the whole way. You saw him waving to Hoey, just kind of calling over like, hey, I'm just wide open. And Hoey had all day to throw that pass.
Yeah, Hoey almost lofted it a little too much that the defenders were breaking in, but Victor Otero able to reel it in and get the feet in, which was the important part for the reception. And first place, a toss to Otero to the right. Otero cutting upfield, running to the left. Otero's got room. Otero inside the 20, and he is going to be brought down inside the 15. Victor Otero making his presence known on offense so far in this second half, and Portsmouth Abbey in a perfect situation to take the lead.
And Otero's just been carrying them this drive. Just the great catch, and then that amazing run to get him right within scoring position. And the field goal is just an afterthought now. Now they're trying to really win it.
Excellent job by Victor Otero, waiting for a hole to open up. He had good blocking on the right, sees the hole on the left, hits it, and he hits it for a big gain. Yeah. As here we go, first down and goal from the 11-yard line. Hoey is under center. He's going to motion Otero out. Hoey hands it to Crabtree, and Crabtree brought down at the 6-yard line. Very good play design by Portsmouth Abbey. Looked like they were going to go into a pass, and then you give it to your fullback.
Mm-hmm. After those two big plays to Otero, putting it in motion really sets off the defense, and then opens up a good lane for the fullback, and just perfect execution there. And now they're within 5 yards of the goal line.
Under 2 minutes to play. 1 minute, 40 seconds remaining and running. Chris Sizer, the center, he has done an excellent job today. Hoey tosses it to right. Otero is going to be wrapped up right away. And Otero almost looking for a flag or something after that play. He's not getting one. A big loss, and it's 3rd and long.
And you really don't like to see that from the goal lines. And this really forces the Abbey to take a timeout.
Portsmouth Abbey will use their final charge timeout with 1 minute and 19 seconds remaining. And now 3rd down and long. You have to be thinking a pass here.
You have to be thinking a pass, but you have to remember in the back of your head, you are at the 10-yard line. You have an easy field goal, so you want to be careful with the ball. Definitely no turnovers here. You want to be able to trust your kicker if it comes to that.
Well, if the Ravens do, in fact, attempt this field goal, then they would be kicking against the wind. So that is another thing that you should keep in the back of your mind. But not much of a windy day here in Portsmouth, Rhode Island. Really a beautiful fall day for Parents' Weekend. And now, here we go, an excellent football game coming down to the wire. Really doesn't get better than this.
No, it doesn't. This has been a great game all the way through. It all comes down to this, maybe even this play right here, 3rd down. There's been momentum switches back and forth.
Otero going to be still on his feet, and he's then brought down at the 5-yard line. Victor Otero coming close to a 1st down there, and Portsmouth Abbey will bring out the field goal unit.
So a little short of the 1st down, but great. Good play design to pick up some extra yards, get Kendall closer within range, and Otero took it on himself to get extra yards there.
First time today we've seen Otero on a wide receiver screen like that. But the game right now is going to be coming down to Ben Kendall's right leg. The clock is running, under 30 seconds to go, and a timeout called by the Wilbraham and Monson Titans. And Kendall, of course, he's clapping after that. He is excited. He's into this. And
it's all up to him now.
Have you ever heard of icing the kicker?
Yes.
Well, I think that's what the Titans are looking to do right here.
They're definitely
but Kendall,
trying.
He's enjoying the moment,
he seems
really.
unfazed by it. He seems excited by it. Interesting flipping the script there, but, I mean, this is really in his hands now.
Well, we saw the Ravens block an extra point from this side of the field going against the wind. The Titans, if they do that, then they're going to come away with a victory today. Portsmouth Abbey out of timeouts.
We've seen special teams for the Ravens step up all day, all game. So here's their final moment. They really need to stand out one more time.
Here we go. Ben Kendall trying to win it for the Ravens, who trail 14-12. 37 seconds remaining. Snap is down. Kick is on the way, and it's blocked. It's blocked, and the Titans will take over. Portsmouth Abbey falling in the final seconds here to the Wilbraham and Monson Titans. An absolute heartbreaker.
That's great play by the special teams, but truly just a heartbreaker for the Ravens. To get that close and to get in that type of situation, have it end like that is just devastating.
And with the money on the table, Ben Kendall, everything seemed perfect, but the kick blocked by the Titans, and that's really the last thing you wanted if you're a Ravens fan, as Portsmouth Abbey really played their hearts out in this second half, only to fall short with the clock reading 32.9 seconds. The Titans have the lead, and they can go right into victory formation as Portsmouth Abbey is out of timeouts right now. Really a heartbreaking way to watch this game. An excellent game, really, come to an end.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the number one thing is that we saw great hustle on each side of the ball. We saw great players stand out. We saw great plays. It was just a good game overall. Great game for the Parents' Weekend. Tough ending for the Ravens, for sure, for this home crowd. But They fought hard throughout.
They truly did. And Justice McDougal is under center. He will take the knee. And just like that, the Wilbraham and Monson Titans come into Portsmouth Abbey. And after a tough loss to Pingree last week, they beat the Ravens by a final of 14-12 in a game where they led it 8-0 at halftime. Then Portsmouth Abbey stormed back 2 big scoring drives, but in the end, it came down to a field goal attempt, and the Titans made the play, blocking the kick.
And just kudos to all the players out there. Great job to both of them, and good job by William and Wilbraham and Monson coming in and winning.
Well, a few big players to note out of this game. Victor Otero with a touchdown run. Then you had Will Crowley with a touchdown reception. Shane Hoey, multiple big plays. First coming to Crowley down the field early on in the third quarter. And then you saw Hoey go down the field to Otero on a wheel route that broke for a big play. And then on that final drive, it began big pass to Otero, and he has been dominant throughout the season for Portsmouth Abbey. He was dominant today, but unfortunately the Ravens unable to get the job done as the Wilbraham and Monson Titans now improve to 3-3 on the season, and they will be getting ready to take on next week Dexter Southfield at Dexter, 6 o'clock p.m. kickoff. For Portsmouth Abbey, the Ravens will be getting ready to play Hampden Hall next week right here at Portsmouth, Rhode Island, and we will be bringing that game. Kickoff scheduled for 3:30 p.m. Our pregame coverage will begin right here on the Beacon Online at 3 o'clock p.m. But for all of us here on the Beacon Online, I'm John Perrick, joined alongside with Dom Ambrose, and we thank you for watching. Your final score from Portsmouth, Rhode Island, the Ravens 12, the Wilbraham and Monson Titans 14.